that's okay. We made it, and we did.
That smoke from the Canadian fires?
We didn't experience that, but we had four tornadoes. Four tornadoes touched down. I didn't even know that was, and during that day there were 20 sighted and four touched down. One right by my sister and one right by my niece, but they went right around us. But a lot of branches fell down.
That's because she was in town.
That's right. Yeah, the tornado was me spinning in the. So, Paula, we normally don't start this way. So, Paula's brand new, so it's like, woo, what kind of a sinner is this? I'm going to remind you that our mission statement is on the very front of the program. And sometimes when we read that, it kind of gets you in gear, right? So, we are a loving spiritual community that honors your presence, nurtures your joyful self-expression, and empowers your spiritual growth. Do you believe that? And as long as we start out that kind of a way, and I don't know about you, but sometimes I forget. Do you forget sometimes to start out that way? It's like, okay, reel it back. We're going to start over again. If your attitude's a little bit wanky, you want to get right back on board again. So today, let's know that our welcoming and opening affirmation is right on the left-hand side there, and we're going to read that together as well. I expect everything I do to prosper. I enthusiastically expect success. Let the good flow into my experience. I am seeing good in every direction I look. I am looking forward to more good. I am entering into a deeper understanding of life, and I am recognizing my union with all people. Oops, excuse me. And now, for our congregational song, and I think we need to stand up and sing this one, and it's I release and I let go. So think about anything you want to release and let go of. I do this often when I'm vacuuming. I sing this song. It's a good one. It's a good one. Okay, here we go. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life. And my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. There's no more struggle, no more strife. And with my faith I see the light. Yes, I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Well, I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. There's no more struggle, no more strife, and with my faith I see the light. Yes, I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Final one. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife, and with my faith I see the light. Yes, I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Woo! Well, it's time for announcements. And I have no idea what to say. Other than, I know that there was a sound bath just this past weekend. How did that go?
Wonderful.
Yay! How many went? Yay! All right, so that's a very good thing.
And I think it's August 25th. Does anybody know?
I don't, it's the 29th?
22nd or the 29th, Dennis is going to confirm with you.
Okay, perfect. All right, because he was going to send me some dates and I didn't have any emails, so perfect. Okay, so we're going to have it at the end of this month, and remember that we have a lot of things coming up starting September, October, and November. And I don't know, we've got the swap meet, we've got the metaphysical fair, we've got the rummage sale coming up in September. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Rummage sale in September. And we're trying to focus everything on the third week of the month so everybody gets a consistent pattern so we know what's kind of going on. So it's going to start out with the rummage sale, and then I believe it's the health fair in October, kind of around Halloween because those things work. And then in November, we're going to have the swap meet, which is different vendors will come and have booths and sell different things like that. And then we're going to have the congregation appreciation, Thanksgiving in November. We're going to have choir. We're going to have all kinds of things. And Brian is coming up. Tell me the date again.
The Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Thank you very much. The Saturday after Thanksgiving. Yeah, I don't have the announcements in front of me. I apologize. But at any rate, there's a lot of things coming up. So keep your calendars free and mark them in there because there's a lot of really cool things coming up. And of course, we want to thank all of our, she was like, she just flopped down there and went, wow, this is exhausting. You got a lot of stuff going on. So we want to thank all of our volunteers, which is basically everybody in the room. And there we go. So we want to thank everyone. And then today is Naomi is creating our menu, and it is Hawaiian lunch, mango slaw, papaya chicken, tilapia with pineapple salsa, brown rice, coconut pineapple ice cream and pineapple chunks, and mango iced tea. It sounds delish. So we're going to have that right next door. And just remember, we thank everyone for their generous donation for the food because that goes to help offset the person that's paid for the luncheon. And so now we're going to have our meditative song, and that's And So It Is. And there's even printed out words in the program for those of you that wanted to know the words. So here we go, and so it is. God is all there is. I am one with the Spirit. I realize the truth, and I speak it. I am thankful for it all. I release it. I let it go. And so it is. And so it is. I know it is. And I receive as I believe. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Good morning, everybody. I'm glad you're all here. Excuse me. Couple things. The goddess works in divine ways. All of you who are wearing blue, raise your hand. See how it works? I imagine when I go to my closet, everyone's hand is reaching into the closet and they're going, should I wear the red one? Should I wear the blue one? Should I wear the yellow one? Oh, I think I'll wear the blue one today. You all did it. Most all of you paid attention. There is divine order in the universe, and the goddess is in charge. And I'm so excited that Carolyn, you're here. You look beautiful. You look beautiful. And Rita's here. She got back from her surgery and doing very well. And I'm glad that everybody is here. So now it's time for our invocation, and that is the time where you take a moment to recognize the spirit within you, that God energy within you, and take a moment of silence and just listen. Listen to that word that is wise. And if you'd like to close your eyes and allow yourself to be in that own personal space, but that space that is connected with each other because we all are one. We all are that one God in expression. We all are that one God in thought and perfect thought. thoughts of love, thoughts of peace, thoughts of joy, laughter, good health, abundance, all good things. And collectively, we are together in those thoughts. And so I know and I declare that today is going to be my peaceful day. And I speak my word for each one of us, knowing that within each one of us, there is that divine, glorious seed of peace. Breathe in that peace, let it wash over you. And breathe out any sense of disturbance, any chaos, any confusion. And as you breathe in, know that life is good, life is calm, life is healing in every aspect of our lives. And breathe in that breath of power. And claim that power. Claim that I am that. I am that power of choice, that power of freedom, that power of good intention, that power of wisdom. I am that power of knowing that I am guided in everything that is done for the highest and best of myself and those around me. Everyone that I encounter, I see God. I see God. I am that. And so in knowing these things and accepting these things and claiming these things and deserving these qualities of God and then living them every moment of our lives, I release these words into that law of creation, that law of magnificence, that law that responds to my word and says yes. Yes, yes, yes. I am that. And so as I release these words, I do it with a great sense of gratitude, a great sense of release and relief as I claim life is good. And once again, I know today is going to be my peaceful day. And together we say, and so it is. Okie dokie. I'm going to share from the magnificent Ernest Holmes, 365. He says, I sing life's song of joy. You are part of the universal mind, one with the universal substance. You live, move, and have your being in pure spirit. All the wealth, the power, and the goodness of the spirit exists at the center of your being. You experience this good in such degree as you accept, believe in, and feel it. As you enter into life, feeling the divine presence in everything more and more, you will hear a song of joy singing at the center of your being. I want to say, can we have an ah? Ah. And more, you will hear a song of joy singing at the center of your being. You have only to be still and listen to this song of life, for it is always there. And so it is.
Good morning. Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning.
I don't know why it's doing that. Should I try it now? Test. It's here. It's on. Test. Maybe I just use the microphone. Or maybe I just stand away from something. Test, test, test. That's better. Thank you, Jim, for pointing to the speaker. Maybe that was it, huh? I guess so. Works for me. It work for you? Okay. Wow, now that we've had our hearing checked. Okay. So today my talk topic, it's the opposite of probably what we were taught as kids. Remember when you were kids, you were taught that, seeing is believing. It is going to happen. The proof is in the pudding. Seeing is believing. But this talk is believing is seeing. And it's very much the essence of what the science of mind teaching is. I think Gracie was going to help you with the sound there. Yeah, she goes, I'll help you, Laura. But so the idea is that, like Ernest Holmes says, what's that famous saying? Change your thinking, change your life. And what it means is that we are empowered not by conditions that are happening out there. We are empowered by the thoughts that are in our mind and the thoughts that we accept about the truth of our being. And the moment that we accept those thoughts of the things that we truly desire, that's how we bring in, that's what the law of attraction is based on. But it's much more than thinking makes it so. It is change your thinking, change your life. However, there's a lot more to it than that, isn't there? Because it's about feeling, it's about belief. The beauty of this teaching is that it's empowering, right? Because it reminds us that, you know what, we are not at the mercy of anything that's going on outside in our life. We can control. It doesn't mean that things don't happen. Doesn't mean that bad stuff doesn't happen. Doesn't mean that stuff that can be a challenge doesn't happen. But it means that we have the power to understand how we interpret it and how we let it be in our lives is going to determine how our life is going to go. Same two people can have a situation happen to them, and it can be positive for one and negative for another. It's all how they put the spin on it. And the spin happens by what? Contemplation of our own thoughts. What we call our desires into being by imagining and feeling our wish fulfilled. It isn't by thinking of the negative. If you sit there and dwell in the negative and oh, woe is me, what's going to happen? More of, oh, woe is me is going to come in because that's where our energy field is. That's where our frequency is. You want to lift your condition and your life situation. You start with your thought and say, how do I begin this? Neville Goddard, who's the famous mystic that I quote all the time, said, a change of feeling is a change of destiny. A change of feeling is a change of destiny. Why? Because there's an unbroken connection between your feelings and the visible world, because it's not what you want that you attract what you believe is true. You attract what you believe is true. If you know something because of whatever you've heard out there, that's one thing. But when you know something in your heart and you know it as truth, guess what? Not all the wild horses in the world cannot stop you because you believe it's true. And when we believe in something is true, what happens? Our energy flows where our thought goes all the time. So what we're thinking on, what we're focused on, absolutely expands. Not by any other reason than we are not controlled by our outside conditions, but in this world out there, it will tell you that we are. But guess what? We actually can know into our own things. All transformation begins with an intense, burning desire to be controlled. Anybody ever hear the comedian George Carlin? I love George Carlin. He said, you got to wanna. You got to want something in order for it to happen. Things don't happen by accident. People don't get their degrees or meet the partner of their life or make $1 million or whatever it is by accident. They actually have it in their mind. This is something that they desire. So the first step to is renewing your mind is desire. Think about what is it that you desire. And also, it's important to identify, what are my limiting thoughts about, oh, I can't possibly do that. Oh, I've never done that before, da-da-da-da. I'll give you an example. My sister and I were flying from Chicago to here yesterday, to Burbank. And it's a long story, but at any rate, there's different kinds of seating, and we just took the standard seating where you get what Patty shot at, okay? So the standard seating is from like row 14 and back. So we both entered at the same time to try to get seats next to each other. Well, she got 14E and I got 25D. So I'm like, that's pretty far away from each other. So I said, but I was in the aisle and she was in the middle seat. So I said, I'll tell you what, when we get on the plane, I'll talk to the person next to me and I'll say, oh, would you want to switch my sister? You could sit up in row 14. It's much better, blah, blah, blah. We had it all planned in our mind. Well, my sister was, we were using a wheelchair. And so the wheelchair people are at the front of the line, which we had no experience with the wheelchair stuff. Trust me, it was like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride yesterday, going through. I didn't know how to work the brakes on the wheelchair, and every time I let go of the bar of the chair, she almost went flying out. I said, oh my gosh, we're like a comedy routine. So we pull over, and the guy says, well, wheelchairs go over here, and then you go in the door over there. So we're over there, and we start talking with this lovely lady. And she's the sweetest, and we're like, we are so green about this stuff. We don't know what to do. And she goes, oh, you just park here. And I go, well, you know, I've got 25E. I'm not going to sit with her. She goes, oh, it's going to work out. I go, you know, I like your, you're right. I like your attitude. Of course it's going to work out. We get on the plane, and they put the people with wheelchair first. And because I was with her, I got to go first. So I'm all the way back here. She's all the way up there. And this woman said, well, you know, I'm not really even on this flight. I'm on standby. They told me it's full and I'm not even going to get a seat. Well, who do you think's sitting next to my sister? That woman. And she goes, oh, You don't get to sit with your sister. She goes, I'll switch with her. Where is she? And I thought, oh my God. So she comes walking back and she goes, I want you to sit with your sister. And she goes, I'm happy to be by the back of the plane, by the restrooms. I'm like, perfect. So we switched. And it was like, we just struck up this conversation. Now, if we had started with, it's never going to happen. It's just like, we wouldn't have talked to her. It was like, nothing's going to work out. But sometimes when you put yourself in that energy, you know what I'm talking about. You put yourself of that energy of can do. Things absolutely collude to work together to happen. I'm sure everybody here in this room has some story of where something worked out, where it kind of looked impossible and you thought, okay, I'm going to put impossible on the back burner and I'm going to accept something positive and just, I don't need to know what it is. I can't figure it out. God's going to do that. I'm just going to put myself in that energy field of trusting. And the moment that we do that, what happens? It's not just serendipity. It is the divine law of cause and effect, because you've now put yourself in the energy of, what is it that I desire? And so when you get into the very first thing of figuring out, seeing is believing and believing is seeing, however you say it to yourself, what it is you put yourself in the, what would I love to do? What would I love to see happen? Where's my positive attitude about it? And it's important to pay attention to the dialogue that we have in our heads. I don't know about you, but have you ever listened to yourself sometimes? You look in the mirror and go, oh boy, I think we've eaten a few too many French fries or something, huh? Or whatever it is you say to yourself, do you have negative talk going on? Or are you being encouraging to yourself? Are you being critical? Or are you being positive and talking success? Because guess what? We're always listening to ourselves. In fact, we listen to ourselves more than anybody else. So it's so important to pay attention to the self-talk and say, all right, that's the old me. Now, what is it that I would like to do? What is it I'd like to embrace? Where would I like to be? Our self-talk is not only essential in building our success, but it's necessary in order to carry out the conditions we desire. We live by faith, not by sight. Isn't that interesting? That was in the Bible in Corinthians 1,000,000 years ago, no, 2,000 plus years ago. But think about it. We live by faith in this teaching, don't we? Then not by sight. It says pay no attention to those conditions, because those conditions are always going to tell you something isn't going to work out, or it may tell you something is going to work out, but we're not at the mercy of what's out there. We're only here. We've got a conscious mind and we've got a subconscious mind. The conscious mind is the thinker, the thing, and the subconscious mind is the creator. It doesn't go, oh, Mary, I don't like that thought. Let's go back to the drawing board. It says, okay, thinking makes it so. Boom, it's done. So it's important to practice awareness. Be aware of, what am I saying to myself? What am I saying? What would I love to do today? What would make me really happy? Like I looked at my sister, I wish she was here, and she said, you know what? I am so happy. I'm drinking a cup of coffee. I'm looking at my People magazine, and I'm just relaxing. I go, knock yourself out. It's good. You know what? Whatever works for you, Change your concept of yourself, and you will automatically change the world and the way life responds to you. Why is that so? Change the concept of yourself. You will automatically change the world and the way life responds to you, because our energy field goes before us. Where we're putting our energy, where we're putting our thought, where we're putting our ideas, what we're believing in about ourselves is absolutely broadcasting long before we get to the spot. Long before we get to the spot. Make your future dream a present fact in your mind and replace it with empowering thoughts. Oh my goodness. When we were kids, I don't know about you, but we daydreamed. We played dressed. We dressed up in clothes. We did all kinds of stuff. Our imagination went wild. Now kids' imagination is attached to their, I was with my niece's kids and everybody had a thing. Everybody was on their iPad or their whatever, and everybody was going, but they were all using their imagination. Some were playing games. They were fighting each other in some game. I don't even know what it was, but they were doing that. And everybody was doing that kind of thing. And it thought, it's very interesting. When you decide to replace everything with an empowering thought and imagine yourself in these things, what happens? It changes. I mean, you think about when you watch a scary movie. All of a sudden your heart's pounding because you've watched a scary movie and it's not real, but you've watched the movie and now your body's gone into that scary movie phase, right? Although I don't watch scary movies. My sister does. I said, knock yourself out. You can watch it while I'm gone. Not me. You do this by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. When was the last time you sat down and said, okay, what is it that I desire? Now let's just imagine it's there. What's the greatest thing I can imagine? Because guess what? That is sending a broadcast message out to the world. Faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we don't see. That's what faith is. It's believing in something before it gets there. And guess what? We always say here, we create things twice. It's always first in thought and then in form, right? But the deal is you're going through a challenge. Say you're going through a challenge. Anybody went through a challenge other than me in your life? Okay. All right. So say you're going through a challenge. I don't know about you, but sometimes we tend to marinate in that challenge. Do you ever notice that? You start to think about it. On my way out here, I had to check, there wasn't enough room in the overhead compartment, and they made me check my carry-on baggage. Well, it was very last minute, so I went and I checked my carry-on baggage. I didn't think twice about it. I get to my sister's the next day. I'm unpacking, and I'm going to go put my jewelry on, and my jewelry roll was missing. And I said, oh no. So I called, I filed a report and all that kind of stuff. I said, maybe I left it at home on my dresser just in case. Well, I did not. So somebody took my jewelry roll. Well, what was interesting about that is I didn't pack much jewelry. There's some favorite things like my little paws bracelet was in there, but some of the things that I just didn't even pack. So there were only like a couple pieces and I thought, you know what? I'm letting go of attachment and I'm just knowing that everything perfectly is going to work out and it's all going to, and I didn't bring any expensive stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, well, you know what? I have to be mindful, and I thought, I'm just going to release it, because what it teaches you is non-attachment, doesn't it? I'm not attached to that bracelet or those earrings or whatever it is. And sometimes we get attached to stuff, don't we? And it becomes who we are, and we don't want to let it go because it's who we are. And all of a sudden we let it go, and we go, you know what? I can live without that. I can do that. And so I blessed the person and said, little do you know, my friend, you just stole from yourself, because that's what happens. It's the law of cause and effect. It's the karmic law. So I thought, I'm just going to bless it. And I could have gone, oh man, how does that happen to me? How could I get things stupid? How could I be so silly that I didn't take the jewelry roll out before I got on the plane? Why wasn't I thinking? Because I wasn't thinking. I wasn't even in that mindset. And all my friends were like, you should have known better. I'm like, oh, we're not going to should on each other, are we? Because remember, we'll do those kinds of things. We'll make ourselves a bad dog for doing something wrong. It's like, no, get out of that energy. And just say, you know what? Something good is coming out of this. You know, something good is always coming out of everything. And the moment you affirm that, what happens? Something good comes out of it. Something good, because you're open and receptive to it. There's a story about a pastor. And he's in his yard at his pastor home, and he sees a little cat in a tree. And he says, oh my goodness. So he tries to bribe the cat to come down. So he puts out some milk and he puts out some tuna fish, but this little cat is not going to come down from that tree. So he goes, well, I can't climb up there because the branches aren't so strong, but I could put a rope over the branch, tie it to the back of my car, and pull the branch down, and then I could grab the kitten. So he's got the rope over the branch, and he's got his car, and he's driving, he's looking to make sure it doesn't go, he's driving, and the rope breaks. And there goes the kitten, out in the air, flying through the air, and he's like, oh my gosh. So he goes all through the neighborhood, and he's asking everybody, has anybody seen a little kitten? I was trying to help it, and it flew through, I don't know what to do, and they're like, no, nobody's seen a kitten. So a couple days go by, and he's in the food store, and he's in the grocery store, and he sees a congregant that's there, and he's like, he looks in her basket, and she's got a whole bunch of cat food in her basket. And he says, well, this is weird, because we all know that you can't stand cats. You've talked about bad-mouthing cats forever. And she goes, yeah, I know. She goes, but you're never going to believe this. She goes, my daughter has been bugging me about getting a kitten forever. And she said, she started up again. And I said, okay, I'll tell you what. You go pray to God. And if God brings you a kitten, we'll keep it. So she goes, with my own eyes, I saw my daughter go out in the yard. She gets down on her knees and she prays to God, please bring me a kitten. She goes, and out of the blue, this kitten comes flying through the air and lands right in our backyard. And she goes, Mom, it's a miracle. And she goes, well, I had to keep my word because I said, if God manifests a kitten, then we're going to keep it. So she goes, so we have a cat. I think they should have named it Rocket. But so at any rate, think about it. When stuff happens and you put yourself in the mental space of knowing it's going to happen, we don't have to figure out the how. But when it shows up, we go, I'm not surprised at all. So when this woman switched her seats with my sister and I, she goes, can you believe? I go, are you surprised? She goes, I'm not surprised at all. I go, me neither. Because it's so, when you put yourself in that energy, and a lot of times it's just a matter of remembering, snap out of that old thinking and get into this space. And the moment that we do, something good happens. Another way to make things, get yourself in that space, make your future dream your present fact in your mind. See it as though it's already happening. That's where we go with our imagination. Pardon me. By desiring to be other than you are, you can create the ideal person that you want to be. And when this assumption is persistent until it becomes so dominant in your mind, remembering, we're not doing this on our own. We are co-creators with Spirit. And what is that? That's what's inside of us. That is our higher self in alignment with the power of God creating it. We're not doing it on our own, but we're doing it in cooperation with that higher power. And the higher power is, you know what? Thinking makes it so. What you are going to desire and where you put your energy is. So you speak in the present. I'm healthy. I'm wealthy. I'm wise. I'm in the right place at the right time. All things come to me for good. Whatever it is that you affirm, you say it in the present, not I'm going to be wealthy. I'm going to be healthy someday. I'm going to be this, or this will be coming soon. No, I am now. And whatever we say after I am is so powerful. It's so life enforcing for your own life and gets you in that spot. Man's chief delusion is his conviction that there are causes other than his own state of consciousness. Our chief delusion is that there's anything happening other than our own state of consciousness. Because what we accept to be true, what? It happens. It's manifest. Your external world is not formed by anything other than what you would deeply assume to be true about your own life, right? Now, if you think about it, sometime today, just pay attention. Just pay attention to what you're paying attention to. Pay attention to the thoughts that you're feeding yourself. Are they happy? Are they positive? Are they joyous? Are they life-affirming? Or are they, oh, God, here we go. I got to go to this. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I'm not going to be, oh, it's so hot in here. I can't. You know what? Where are we going? Because the moment we do that, our energy shifts. Remember, we're just a field of energy. And in this field of energy, it is attracting other fields of energy on that same vibratory level. So if you're down here vibrating at the woe is me stuff, what's going to happen? More of the woe is me. You get up here and say, snap out of it. I am life affirming, absolutely, knowing that all joy and goodness is coming to me. Aligning your thoughts and feelings and beliefs is the formula for creating the way you want your life to go and sustaining it. But it requires what? Examination. It requires thinking. It requires listening. What am I saying to myself? If I want to go somewhere, you know what? God doesn't make a judgment about you, right? God's judgment of you is you're magnificent, exactly as you are. I don't care what house you live in. I don't care what car you drive. I don't care how much money you have. You are magnificent. And the moment that you admit that you're magnificent, you know that God's not looking at the diminished capacity of you. Who looks at the diminished capacity? You do. Or you may make a judgment about somebody else and say they are. But guess what? That's not life. How about we do this? You look at your neighbor and you say, you are magnificent. And then you say, you say back to the person, I believe I'm magnificent. Now, how does that feel? Right? And magnificent. Did you wake up in the morning and look in the mirror today and go, I am magnificent? Or did you go, oh, yikes, look at that. What's over here? What happened there? Get more cream, more stuff. I need more, whatever, what?
More Nivea.
More Nivea, yes. Your inner state creates your outer world. Is that true? Your inner state creates your outer world. That sounds so elementary, but then you go, oh, it does? Oh, wait a minute. I don't know, what do I need to think about more? What do I need to affirm more? What do I need to let go of more? What do I need to edit? Conscious mind is the script, and the subconscious mind is the actor. Conscious mind thinks and gives the blueprint, and the subconscious mind goes, okay, and so it is. I'm going to follow these pictures of how you want to create your domain, right? You don't like what you're creating, you go right back to here and say, where do I need to rethink this? Where do I need to get back in to an affirming way that's positive for my life? And then what happens is, once you've gotten into paying attention to your thoughts, desiring what it is you really want, then you have to act on the new beliefs, right? It's not just a thought fleeting, it goes away. No, you got to act on it. You got to align your actions with your changed mindset. Oh my goodness. This means that you must assume the feeling of fulfillment of your desire before it happens, right? And then you got to stay at practice with it. Keep at practice with it. It's like anything, any sport, any exercise, anything you do, you've got to practice at it. It takes practice. It's like developing, when you go to the gym and you first start working out with weights, your arms are killing you by the end, but that next morning you're like, oh man, that was too heavy. But guess what? The more you build it up, the more strong you become and you strengthen things. To quote the amazing Helen Keller, the best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched, but they must be felt with your heart. And think about that. What am I feeling about myself? Not just what am I telling myself, because you may say a lot of positive affirmations, but if they don't register in your heart, from your mind to your heart, they say that's the biggest distance from the head to the mind. If they're not registering in your heart, then it's not connecting, and you want it to connect. And what are you connecting with? Your higher self. And what is your higher self? Your God self. And what is that? Spirit. It's that oneness with everything. We're encouraged in this teaching to disregard all appearances and feelings that deny the appearance of what it is you desire. Is that true? How do you let it all go? Well, you have to just say, I'm releasing what no longer serves or keeps me at peace. I love, Lainey said, this is my peaceful day. I'm staying in my peaceful way, right? And the moment that we do that, we've set the tone. And then you have to stay consistent, don't you? You have to practice it. You have to think about what you're thinking about. And then you have to stay consistent and practice new ways of being. And sometimes that can be hard, Lead each day. I don't know where this came from. I think this came from somewhere. Does that make? Yeah, somewhere. That famous somewhere. Lead each day with the energy that with God, all things are possible. And the moment you say that, what does that mean? It's not God out there. It's God in here. With God, all things are possible. And what we do is we align that. We align our energy with that power and let that power lead us. You don't manifest what you think. You manifest what you believe to be true. So what is it that you're accepting as a truth for yourself? And then whatever it is, then you shift it. If it's not affirming, if it's not positive, if it's not creating joy in your life, then let it go. I mean, that sounds so elementary, but it is. Just let it go. Just, I'm not going to go there today. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. You have to get in that feeling of already having it, already feeling that it's there, already knowing that it's there. Oh, my good is here right now, and I'm stepping into it just as I think. So how about if we affirm together? I am the creator of my world. I choose peace. I choose love. I choose wealth. I choose positive thought. I choose goodness. I choose compassion. I choose excitement. Oh, do you see how that energy kind of went? I choose excitement. I choose to be the best person I came here to be. I attract all good things into my life. I let it be so. And together we say, and so it is. And so it is. All righty, thank you. And now we're going to have Cecilia share another beautiful song with us. I'm going to turn that right. So I invite you to sit back, relax. If you want, to close your eyes. And I invite you to go to your favorite place and let us have a conversation with God, thanking for our blessings and more to come. Thank you. Wow. We are so blessed to have Cecilia. Thank you, Cecilia. Okay, this is the time of the sharing of our treasure. And I invite us all to let's share that offertory affirmation, which is, divine love consecrates my gift It goes forth to heal, bless, and prosper all those who give and all those who receive. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. All right, and now we're going to have our song, I Am So Blessed. And we kind of changed the words, just so you know. I went back to the authentic words of Karen Drucker, so I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I realize the words are a little different on that program. I changed thankful to grateful only once, but there we go. So let's know, as we bless our gifts that go before us, okay, good, perfect. We give thanks for the sharing of our gifts and our treasure, and we are knowing that it comes back to us multiplied. We give thanks for all of the abundance that we are experiencing and know that it grows exponentially, and it goes out to prosper this community, this spiritual center, all those who attend it, and beyond. And we give thanks, and so it is. Thank you, Bart. Okay, I remind you that we have a luscious meal. And if anybody ever had a picture of seeing Gracie look at her mama, she was sitting there just looking up at you adoringly for a moment. It was so cute, very cute. She's a special dog. And so we're going to just have a closing prayer, and let's just know right here and now. We'll give Bart a second to, I guess he's not going to come back, but here we go. There is one power in this universe, and I call that power God, that divine creative intelligence that lives, moves, and has its being as me. And I know and affirm right here and now, all the good of the universe is manifesting right here in my life. I am open and receptive and knowing that what I believe I see. And I know that my faith in the good for myself, for others, for the entire world is manifest through my creative ideas. And so I know in my oneness with this power I call spirit, all things are possible. And so I know the health, the wealth, the love, the positivity, the success, the great relationships, the wonderful occurrences in my life are all happening right now. And I am open and receptive to know and trust in this power of spirit to create in and through me this great good. And I accept it now. Every cell in my body hears this prayer. Every idea in my mind knows this truth and opens up like fireworks in my mind to accept in great good and great success in all areas. I am ever so grateful for this teaching, for this center, for my awareness, for opening up to this new thought of mine that all is possible. And so as I release this prayer into the law of mind, it is already in motion, creating for me the divine desire and experiences that I desire. It is already done. I let it be so, and together we say, and so it is. And now we'll have our peace song. It's on. Peace on earth, now it has begun with me. Let there be peace on earth. Was meant to be. With God as our power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Peace has begun with me, so this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, now it has begun with me. Yay! Thank you.
Come back again.